This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
Well, we can't get through a Thursday without getting a little dramatic, whether we're spilling tea or we're spilling tea. That's what we do here with our... All thanks to our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. Great time of year to go check them out. They get a lot of new seasonal flavors in. It's also a great time to start rounding out your grilling repertoire with the spice side of the Spice and Tea Exchange.
Get everything taken care of so when it gets nice and warm out, you can be flipping those burgers.
Just making easy marinades, you throw the packet in. And actually, there's a lot of really creative ways to cook with tea that I never knew. So they've got recipe cards and stuff there too. So lots of ways to get creative in the kitchen if that's one of your goals for this year. But of course, we will be spilling some tea, spilling some drama. Charlie, what are we drinking?
Here's what we got today. It is Strawberry Clouds White Tea, a delectable organic white tea blend, perfect for a warm summer's day. Strawberry and rose hip. It provides a luscious base highlighted by rose and vanilla.
Sounds delightful. Perfect, as we mentally are ready for that warm weather and spring, but we're just physically not there yet.
Not quite there.
Charlie, why don't you pour us some tea?
All right, here we go.
I will get to spilling some drama. See, this is a dangerous one to share because we haven't done a lot of coworker drama, so I feel like I'm pretty excited for this one.
I'm ready, I know that.
Am I wrong for asking my coworker to stop stealing my coffee pods? I, a 29-year-old female, keep a small stash of coffee pods in the break room for my personal use. I bought a mini coffee maker a few months ago and set it up in the corner with my own pods because I prefer certain flavors, don't like the work coffee. I can totally relate to that because I feel like I have worked in spaces where the work coffee was like the used ground pods of previous pods is what it felt like or tasted like. And, she set her little corner up for her. She walked into the break room, saw that one of her coworkers, a little bit older, he was 35, was, sipping some coffee. And she said she politely told him, hey, do you mind bringing your own pods next time? I pay for these are my personal ones. And he was like, I don't get the big deal, it's just coffee.
Okay, so I have two different thoughts on this one. Number one, if you are worried about that, keep the pods in your desk, solves the whole problem.
Yep.
However, I don't see what the big deal is. It's just coffee.
Equally
man,
as bad, if not worse.
Has got to get out of here, man.
Yes.
No, that is zero workplace etiquette. That is zero respect for your coworker. The proper answer there was, oh, my bad, didn't realize, won't do it again.
Or even, I'll bring some to contribute, and we can
I'll
swap.
pitch in and I'll bring some. But just to take care of the problem yourself, just keep the pods somewhere else.
Yeah.
Keep them in your desk, put something over them so nobody knows they're there.
No, for sure.
Way.
Step one, if you don't want to share, put things in your desk. And even then, word will get out. That you're the guy with the utensils in your desk. And they're like, oh, does anybody have a fork? No, but so-and-so does.
And that does definitely happen.
And that happens. So eventually word might get out that you have the extra pods at your desk. But I'm all for being generous and sharing, but you don't have to be. And so if you are paying for your own coffee pods, Charlie, you're exactly right. Put it in your desk if you don't want to share. But
especially because those can be expensive. The pods are not cheap. I mean, if you start to run up a number of them over time.
Now, if you're also team, I don't like the workplace coffee, it's also time to sweeten the deal a little bit. Be nice to your coworkers that have the better coffee, and ask them if you could have one and share like adults.
But certainly don't brush it off what's the big deal?
But don't brush it off. Apologize.
No, that's awful.
I feel like that's a pretty easy fix, and I just you can't mess with coffee in the workplace.
Sounds like a habitual line stepper to me.
Yeah, I know that there was an office prank, not in this office, but an office that I worked at, where two of my coworkers did not agree, and one of them decided to swap out the other guy's regular coffee with decaf. And he didn't realize it, and so other people that usually drank coffee in the morning were like, man, why am I so tired? It was because he'd secretly
Listen,
been mixing
you can do office pranks if you want to, but there are some dangerous places
at your own risk. So the coffee you don't mess with.
Especially uncaffeinated places.
Yes, but I think this is one that they can talk it out and come to an agreement. But let's give this a try.
This is one of my favorites
Yeah.
that we've had here, and I've had it before. I really enjoy this,
just
this
light.
blend.
Yeah.
You can really
Real
just
sweet.
have a nice little sip in the morning. I think it's great.
I think, and like most of their teas, it's pretty versatile. You can serve it hot, you can have an iced tea with it, and it just get creative. I think this would also be a fun one to play with as far as like a baking recipe, maybe.
Yes.
Play around. You guys are creative in the kitchen. If you do it, let us know. But make sure you get it and other teas and spices at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. But we've got more Coast Life coming your way, and you're not going to want to miss that.